I tell you.
A new day and age. I bet you're
A
getting
new
pretty used
day.
to doing this, aren't you?
Yes.
Good to have you, Dr. Walters, Bishop Dukes. Glad you can come on and be a part of this. This is excellent.
Exciting times.
Oh, there's Debbie. Yeah, people are pouring in.
Good.
We've got a good turnout today, that's for sure. Oh, and there's Dr. Newman. Hello, Dr. Newman. Welcome.
Welcome,
Love
welcome.
to see your picture. If you have a camera, that'd be great.
Hello to everyone. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh, there's Molly. Okay. See a few more S. Lewis's. If you look in the corner and you see it says S. Lewis is your name, all you need to do is go on the upper right-hand side, those three dots, you click on it and it's just click on rename and just put your name in so we know who you are.
So all of these Zoom meetings are starting, and Suzanne's reminding me of, for people who are a certain age, you may have remembered Romper Room. I feel like I'm like looking into the mirror, and you remember she always, oh, and there's Debbie, and there's Susie, and it's kind of a new meaning to Zoom right now. So,
Yep.
Good job, Suzanne.
Romper Room, you went way back.
I did go back, yeah.
Oh yes, I remember those days.
Right.
Sesame Street, Romper Room. They actually had a Zoom. I remember a Zoom.
Yeah, you're right. They did have that too. They were ahead of their times.
Right.
All right.
Okay. So do we have has Dr. McDade come on yet? I don't think I see him yet.
I don't know, I'm looking. We got a lot of people on.
I know we have a lot of people.
Yeah.
The numbers are growing. This is going to be a test of Zoom. Oh, there's Wayne. I remember from Asset. Okay, we're going to get started in 1 minute.
Before we do, Suzanne, I just want to check my audio is working. It's Katie from Apple.
Okay, sure. You just let me know when you're ready, Katie.
Well, I'm ready. Is that it's coming through okay?
I can hear it, and it sounds great.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm. We just always have, we've just learned sometimes you just give an extra 5 minutes, it gives people a chance to come on. Plus, we do have a packed program today, so we really want to try to stay on target. So I'm going to give it 1 minute to start time. Okay, our minute is up. I'm going to get started. Okay, and I'm sure we'll continue to keep logging people in. But in the interest of time, I wanted to kick things off. First of all, welcome everyone to our first virtual Education and Innovation Summit event. I am Suzanne Lewis, the Director of Community Outreach for the Prince William Chamber of Commerce. I work with many of the Chamber's committees and councils, one of which is the Education Innovation Committee, that each year plays an integral role for this event. On behalf of the Prince William Chamber, I would like to thank the committee's past chair, Michelle Rao, who served for so many years, but recently had to move out of the area for a new career change. So you will truly be missed. However, thanks to the leadership of our vice chairs, Susanna Steen from Micron Technology, Ramunda Young from Northern Virginia Community College Manassas campus, and Eugene Brown from UNOS, we were able to finish this year strong with the finale being today's summit. Also, a special thank you to the Student Scholarship Program volunteers led by Ramunda in evaluating and selecting the 4 scholarship winners who we'll be honoring in just a few minutes. I would like to now recognize the Education Innovation Committee year sponsor, OmniRide, and the Education Vision sponsor, Apple Federal Credit Union. Without the support of companies like these, we just couldn't achieve what we do each year. Before we get started, there are a few details to share. The microphones and video links will be turned off during the program due to the volume of attendees. However, if you wish to share reactions, you can use the response button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. The program will be recorded and later posted on social media and provided to registrants by request. I think that's all for now, so let's get started. And who better to kick off this special event than the Prince William Chamber Chairman of the Board of Directors, Bishop Lyle Dukes. Please join me in welcoming Lyle.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you for all the work that you do, and to all of you that are here. We have an exciting program. Just excited about the future and what things are in front of us, and I believe that this is going to be something very significant in terms of what we're going to hear today. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, on behalf also of our President and CEO, Debbie Jones, to our past chairs and to all of our area superintendents, we want to say thank you for being here. And also to our wonderful students that we're going to be honoring today. This is just exciting. These are very challenging times. We understand that. We know through COVID-19 and in recent weeks, this challenge of racial injustice and trying to get through all of these things. But as I told the Board of Directors, in every challenge there is an opportunity, and sometimes many opportunities. And so I'm really thinking, and I'm really believing that this class of 2020 is going to be just incredible. I mean, they've come through some challenging times. They've missed out on some things, but I think in the long run, they're going to be more equipped to handle the future, and I believe they have a bright future ahead of them. We are excited today. We have a very full program ahead of us, and we're going to dive right in. We want to take the opportunity to thank all of our vision partners, cornerstone partners, and keystone partners for their support of the Chamber and events like this. And take a moment to review all the following slides that we have on the screen of our annual partners. Their partnership to Prince William Chamber of Commerce as a whole is a vital source of for our organization, and their support helps us to fulfill our business commitment. We are glad. You can just take a look at all of these wonderful sponsors. I'm trying to read the script and it says pause a moment, so I'm gonna pause a moment so that you can see all of our sponsors. I'll let them come up. But thank you all for being here. To all of our superintendents, thank you. We know that you have a busy schedule. Even though people are not at the school, you are still doing school work. So we thank you for all of your efforts. To all the students, I know you've had a challenging time. So thank you for your perseverance. At this time, we're going to have a word from our founding partner, Dominion Energy. And they're coming, I believe they have a video.
Good afternoon. My name is Brendan Shaw. On behalf of Dominion Energy, and as a former Prince William County student, I'd like to thank the Prince William Chamber of Commerce and each of the superintendents for participating in and organizing today's program. Dominion Energy is proud to partner with the Chamber and businesses across the Prince William region to support education initiatives. Over the past year, the Dominion Energy Charitable Foundation has been pleased to award nearly $100,000 in grants to benefit students and their family throughout our region. These grants support environmental education programs, career and technical education programs, and summer reading initiatives. Additionally, for the past 8 years, Dominion Energy employee volunteers have been pleased to fund and construct 10 outdoor classrooms throughout Northern Virginia, including 3 in Prince William County. One of my favorite ways Dominion Energy gives back to area schools is through our partnership with the Arbor Day Foundation and our Project Plant It initiative. In 2019 alone, we were very proud to distribute nearly 4,000 redbud seedlings to area schools, and since 2007, thousands of area students have participated in the program designed to help them learn about the value of trees, improving air quality, and preventing soil erosion. And finally, I want to congratulate this year's scholarship recipients. While this year has been challenging in many different ways, you have bright futures ahead of you. I hope you will continue to be leaders in the classroom and in our community. Again, congratulations and best of luck in your future endeavors.
All right. We want to thank again all of our annual partners and certainly Dominion Energy. Now we're going to turn our attention to those that sponsored us for today's event. Through their generous donations, we're able to make this event free and open to the public. And what a great way to come together to celebrate the community accomplishments for these 4 deserving scholarship recipients. First, we also have a message from our event sponsor, Virginia Lottery.
Hi, I'm Kevin Hall, the Executive Director of the Virginia Lottery. We are really pleased and proud that we are able to partner with you today as a demonstration of our continuing commitment to what you do, and that is K-12 public education in the Commonwealth. As you know, our support for K-12 is built into the mission of the lottery. Since 1999, in fact, we've helped generate more than $10 billion in support of K-12 schools. That support covers a broad range of programs right in the classroom. And it ranges from school breakfast programs to reduced cost lunches to early reading intervention, all the way up to career and technical education. We are really proud of our ability to partner and help generate resources for public education around the Commonwealth, especially now, as you know better than anyone, the entire world changed this year, and we saw our educators step up in heroic ways to continue their mission in the classroom and in support of their students. Whether it was from a kitchen counter or a home office, there was remarkable creativity shown as our educators stepped up to the plate to make the best of a really historic situation in terms of our K-12 schools. So again, thank you for what you do. Thank you for allowing us to partner with you. We are always pleased to be able to show support for our public school students, our public school educators and administrators, and for everything that you do to help the school children of the Commonwealth. Thank you, and I hope you have a great conference today.
All right, well, good, great. We thank the Virginia Lottery for their support. And I don't know about you, I'm excited about this part of the program. We have the opportunity to award $2,500 scholarships. It's money, that's money, to deserving students who has demonstrated academic excellence and a commitment to volunteer service in our community. This is an extremely competitive program and another benefit of chamber membership, since one of the qualifiers is that they had to be a dependent of a chamber member. I'd like to start by bringing on our representative from Micron, who has generously sponsored 2 students this year. I'd like to welcome Susanna Steen from Micron.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Susanna, and for those of you who don't know me, I am responsible for community and academic relations on behalf of Micron in Virginia. And we are a company of almost 40,000 people, a semiconductor company with 1,600 employees located in the city of Manassas, and with about 600 of our employees living in city of Manassas, Manassas Park, and Prince William County combined. And many of us have kids in these local school divisions. So the reason why we sponsor these and other scholarships, especially in the areas of STEM and community involvement, is because Most of our employees are actually engineers and technicians, and we want to help with the new pipeline of talent, especially here locally. And we just hope that the students will just continue on the STEM trajectory and be involved. They'll be involved in their communities and give back if they come back or not, but that they'll be doing great things. So without any further ado, I now would like to recognize and introduce to you our first scholarship winner, Cameron McQuillan. Cameron is a graduate of Battlefield High School with a good 2. During high school, his varied course list demonstrated academic versatility and revealed an exemplary acumen for engineering and technology curriculum. It was actually amazing to meet Cameron in person over Zoom during the scholarship interviews. Just an amazing individual, just like the others that you will hear about. Reviewing Cameron's extensive accomplishments, the word leader comes immediately to mind. Through the National Student Leadership Program at Georgetown University, Cameron engaged in community service projects, interactive workshops, and met with community leaders to master the pillars of effective leadership. He attended the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Program, was selected for Virginia's 77th Annual Boys State, was an intern with the Board of County Supervisors, president of the National Honor Society, president of the United Sound Program, and section leader and morale officer for the marching band, to name a few. One of his proudest accomplishments is being the founder and program director of the Northern Virginia Leaders for Tomorrow. His program is now offered to high school students in Prince William County, the city of Manassas, and Manassas Park, and it develops skills in communication, problem solving, creativity, and leading others, all with the goal of making a difference in the world. Cameron's other passion is the environment. He's been involved in Boy Scouts for 7 years, netting 32 merit badges and earning his Eagle Scout. He has partnered with the National Park Service to plan and execute conservation projects on Roosevelt Island and the Potomac Heritage Trail to eradicate invasive plant species and hazardous materials. You can also find Cameron hiking the Old Stone Mill Trail or attending a political rally. He can't wait to see where his next adventure will take him. And speaking of next adventures, Cameron is looking forward to attending the Northern Virginia Community College and then transfer to the University of Virginia to combine his interests of business management and organizational leadership that leads toward an environmental studies major. He hopes to work for an environmental company that focuses on technology and innovation to seek solutions that make our planet a safer and healthier home for all of us. And I would just add in there that many of us companies do have environmental engineers and environmental engineering departments there. Just a little plug in there. So Cameron, on behalf of Micron Technology and in partnership with Spark, the Education Foundation for Prince William County Public Schools, it is an honor to award a $2,500 scholarship to you. Now, virtual applause, please.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Great job.
And congratulations also to the parents too.
That would be helpful.
Right. So now our second scholarship recipient is Ms. Abigail Seputro. Abigail is a graduate from Osborne High School with aspirations to be a double major in analytical chemistry and environmental science at the college level. Her awards are too many to include them all, but it was winning the first place in microbiology along with 5 other awards at the Prince William Manassas Science Fair when she decided that her heart belongs in research using chemistry to study waterways and, in her words, to change the world. With a 4.4 grade point average, taking multiple classes at the Governor's School at Innovation Park and dual enrollment classes at Nova Manassas, she was accepted into a number of colleges and has chosen to attend the University of Mary Washington. It was in her Virginia Teachers for Tomorrow dual enrollment class that she interned for elementary and middle schools and embraced a passion for passing down knowledge to children and watching them as they have that aha moment. In addition to working with our youngest learners, Abigail was one of the 2 students selected to serve on the school board as a representative for Manassas City Public Schools, being the voice of her fellow students. You would think with such a demanding academic schedule, Abigail's time would be consumed, but you would be wrong. She has volunteered as a math tutor. She is one of the 3 co-founders of a VEX Robotics team, an Olympic recurve archer on the Virginia team winning national competitions, an active member of the Math, Science, and National Honor Societies, and as a member of the Interact Club, raised money for polio vaccines in the countries of Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nigeria. And in the Key Club, coordinated STEAM, or Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math, STEAM Night, and the Winter Carnival, and creating cards for the POW veterans and dog toys for the local shelters. When asked, after reviewing all of her accomplishments, which one means the most to her, Abby's immediate response was, it was her faith and involvement with her church. As she summed it up, God allows her to see the beauty of people and the world in full color. So now, drums, it is with great honor that Micron Technology, in partnership with the Manassas City Public Schools Education Foundation, is able to award a $2,500 scholarship to Abby. Abby, congratulations.
Thank you, Abby.
Congratulations also to her proud parents. Thank you.
Thank you.
What an amazing accomplishments.
This is, you know, you can go and play them in whatever chord, but this is
follow. Being a part of the scholarship committee and also the interview panel, it was just, you know, tough decisions that we all had to make, but just amazing to know that we have such young talent in our community. It is just so, just heartwarming to know. So thank you and congratulations. And stay in touch. Let us know, all of you, you know, where you are continuing and how you are doing. All right, now I'm going to pass the baton to Melissa Boyle from Lockheed Martin, who will be presenting the next student scholarship. Melissa?
Thank you, Susanna. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Melissa Boyle with Lockheed Martin in Manassas. We are a proud partner with our surrounding county schools, Prince William County, Manassas City, and Manassas Park. Together, we are building a very strong foundation for education and employment opportunities to support the rich talent that we have right here in our own backyard. And it is evident as we are demonstrating today with these scholarship recipients. Now on to our recipients. Lynnea Gedney is a graduate of Charles J. Colgan High School, finishing with a 4.2 grade point average. She plans to major in chemistry at James Madison University this fall. Chemistry clicked instantly, since it is the perfect combination of math and logic. After earning her degree, Lynnea plans to be an officer in the United States Army to research forensics and continue serving in the military as a career. Using Lynnea's words, Chinese legend says, when a child is born, invisible red threads reach out from the child's spirit and connect to all the important people who will enter the child's life. Lynnea's threads were instantly severed when she was left at the gate of an overpopulated, understaffed orphanage in Chongqing, China. It wasn't until a single Caucasian woman from the United States adopted her that the red threads connected her to a new family now and forever. At the age of 5, another red thread attached her to the love of dance. She has continued developing her talent in rhythmic gymnastics, spending 25 hours a week training. Such discipline has instilled strength, perseverance, and courage in her character. She has become a level 9 rhythmic gymnast, competing against the top gymnasts in the country, yet managing to balance her academics and other school activities. She has also brought her talents to Colgan's Center for Fine and Performing Arts program by participating in multiple dance concerts. It was in her senior year that Lynnea decided to somehow bring her love of dance to benefit others, which brought her to an assisted living facility. Through her own research, she choreographed a series of chair exercises that has developed into an ongoing program at Colgan's National Honor Society for Dance Arts. In addition to, Lynnea is an active member of the dance and indoor track teams, Key Club, Science and Math Honor Societies, the Student Council Association, and her church youth group. She looks forward to discovering more red threads that will connect her to others who will impact her life. On behalf of Lockheed Martin, it is with great honor that I award $2,500 scholarship to Lynnea Gedney. Congratulations, Lynnea.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Woo! Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Lynnea.
I could barely step back 3 steps without hitting the cardboard. But a lot of time.
Wow, amazing.
I have to say one thing. I had to hold myself from tearing up. A very inspiring story, Lynnea. Congratulations for perseverance, and to your mom as well for bringing you here. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. So now on services, Donna Oldham.
Donna from Lockheed Martin.
Oh, nope, Donna's from Amazon Web Services.
Amazon Web Services, actually. Where are you, Donna? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Ah, wonderful. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am in awe of these young people, and I can't tell you how impressed I was when I read all of their bios, and AWS is very, very happy to be a part of this. As you know, Amazon Web Services is a cloud computing company. Our corporate headquarters is located in Northern Virginia. And for all of you, we are always looking for great talent. So as you think about your careers and where that lands, all of you certainly have a future with us. So I am thrilled and in awe of Emma Carroll. And I want to congratulate her on behalf of all of our AWS employees worldwide on her scholarship, her dedication, and the future that she has, and the generosity of spirit that she exhibits in everything that she does that I've read. Emma is a graduate of Osborne Park High School with a grade point average of 4.2. She will attend Virginia Tech University with a pre-med major this fall. And looking at her resume, what is evident immediately is her commitment and devotion and dedication to each activity while maintaining a rigorous and stellar academic record, something that I just can't imagine. Emma's desire to serve started when she was very young. Her mother took her to a serve barbecue at a shelter for the homeless. What struck her was seeing kids her own age at the shelter and wanting to do her part to help, but was told she was too young. However, that didn't stop Emma from coming up with a way. And it was while eating at a McDonald's, sorry about that. Some things never change. And while eating at a McDonald's, she noticed that wrapped inside the Happy Meal was a toy. An idea was born, and she decided to call Small Toys Big Difference. Years later, the program continues now across the country when children help other children by sharing a toy surprise when they visit their homeless shelter for needed food and supplies. Other accomplishments include earning the Presidential Volunteer Service Award through the Key Club. As a member of FRC robotics team, she wrote their grants and was a member of the first robotics competition team. At Camp Invention, for 4 years, she was the leadership intern, monitoring the counselors and training, and she taught hands-on STEM activities to kindergarten and first graders, something that AWS, as you know, values as we look to inspire future builders and build the tech workforce of the future. Through girl-powered mentorship programs, Emma encourages girls to get excited about STEM beginning in the 4th grade. When asked about her greatest accomplishment, it is being a swim coach to 3- and 5-year-olds. Watching them change from a real fear of the water to becoming more confident and proud and enjoying swimming, especially making it across the length of the pool for the first time, an experience that means the most. Emma is an accomplished competitive swimmer in her own right and on multiple year-round swim teams. Her long-range goal is to become a dermatologist. The field helps patients feel better about themselves and comfortable in their own skin. She plans to own her own practice and eventually be able to provide for the needs of her parents who, in her words, have done so much to make her dreams come true. So again, Emma, on behalf of Amazon Web Services, it is our honor and our privilege to congratulate you as a recipient of a $2,500 Student Scholarship Award. Congratulations to you, your family, and all of those who lift you up. Congratulations and all the best in your success.
Double-sided too.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Emma!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
She said that to him.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to our winner. Okay, now we're going to pass it on to you, Lyle, dude.
Oh,
It's now your turn, Lyle.
can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Listen, we are so excited about all of these wonderful students, Cameron, Abigail, Lynnea, and Emma, and what a list of accomplishments at such a young age. Just excited to be a part of all of this. This is just wonderful. We know that you have a great future in front of you, listening all your plans and whatnot. I believe that those plans are going to come to pass and even more. So we thank you for all your hard work, and the best is yet to come. At this time, we want to take the opportunity to thank our community media partner, Inside Nova. They have been a great resource to the local community, and we appreciate their support. And now I'd like to introduce to you our Chamber Vision partner, also that has been working very hard, Apple Federal Credit Union. And they are represented by Katie Knight, who is the Community Engagement Officer in Fairfax. She's going to say a few words and then also present our superintendents. Katie?
Thank you, Bishop.
Sorry about that, Katie. Just before we get to that, we're going to do a message from our partners at OmniRide.
Hello, I'm Bob Schneider, Executive Director of OmniRide, the Prince William Region's transit provider for commuter and local transit services. We also have van pools, ride sharing, and support teleworking throughout the area. As Northern Virginia enters its phased reopening, we'll be there for your neighbors, your employees, and especially you. As a matter of fact, we've been out there the whole time with our full local services and essential services into the Pentagon and Washington, D.C. from both Gainesville and Woodbridge. Our dedicated employees have made the difference. We began our COVID-19 response in January with pandemic planning, and in February with increased cleaning of our fleet. We have steadily enhanced the safety and sanitization protocols in our facilities and in our vehicles with twice daily cleaning, required face coverings for passengers, and personal protective equipment for our employees. We have been focused on the health and safety of OmniRide's very own first providers and passengers as we take Prince William to work and we help keep the economy rolling. We'll begin our phased increase in services on June 22nd, restoring most commuter routes, but on a limited schedule. As always, visit omniride.com or call us for the most recent updates. Like everyone else, we'll watch with informed optimism as we return to a new normal with changes in travel patterns and needs across the region. But let's get to why we're here, our future. I take personal pride in helping sponsor this event as the son of a school teacher and the husband of a high school teacher right here in Prince William. We as a community play a massive role in helping shape our best and brightest make a difference. We shape them today so they can shape our future. I hope we all look at 2020 as not just a year or even a difficult year, but one that gave us clarity and a unique opportunity to focus on our own ideas and our own ideals. Our vision, 2020.
All right. Well, we want to thank OmniRide and also, again, Apple Federal Credit Union for hosting this event and also being a continual partner for years and years. And so I'm going to turn it into the hands of Katie Knight, and she's going to take this forward. Thank you.
Thank you again, Bishop. I know it's hard to tell where I'm from, but on behalf of Apple Federal Credit Union, I'd like to thank the Chamber and congratulate especially the scholarship winners. I also know we have a lot of Apple members in the virtual room, so I want to thank you guys as well. For over 60 years, Apple has served both the education and Northern Virginia communities, and we're proud to be a 2019-2020 Vision Annual Partner. Our vision is to improve lives and fulfill dreams, and I see a lot of that going on here. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Kevin Newman, Superintendent, City of Manassas Public Schools. Dr. Kevin Newman began his tenure as Manassas City Schools Superintendent on July 2nd, 2018, having been appointed by a unanimous vote of the school board after a national search. Dr. Newman has served in various educational roles in the state of Virginia, including time as a high school health and physical education teacher and special education teacher. In 2005, he became an assistant principal at the middle school level in Rockingham County, a position he held for a year before joining Colonial Beach Public Schools as principal of its elementary school. During his tenure, the school earned recognition as a 2011 Governor's School of Excellence. In 2014, Newman joined King George Public Schools as principal of the middle school, leading them in full accreditation status. Please welcome Dr. Kevin Newman.
I would like to start by thanking the Chamber for the invitation to participate in the event today. And I also want to congratulate all the students that were honored during the scholarship portion of the summit. The businesses that sponsored awards and the Chamber as a whole, you are truly examples of how it takes a village to get our students to the next level in success. I want to thank everyone that played a role in putting this summit together. As Ms. Knight shared, I am the proud superintendent of Manassas City Public Schools. I just finished my second year and boy, was it a doozy. I'm blessed to have over 1,000 staff educating 7,800 kids. Within our 10-mile city with our 9 schools housing 8 buildings. Just like my colleagues, I felt like our division was going in a positive direction, building off the success of my predecessor. And then Friday, March 13th came. And I didn't realize until I was preparing for this that it was Friday the 13th. So much has happened since that day. And that was the day that our closure started for the school division. It started off as a 2-week closure, and then before you know it, it was closed for the year. You know, we didn't know if it was going to be a short-term or a long-term closure, but that day on Friday the 13th, we were actually in a cabinet meeting preparing professional development opportunities for our teachers because we knew we were going to go into some form of closing. Again, we had no idea it was going to be shut down for the remainder of the year that day. We had a half day the following week for students, and then we had a work day for staff, and we were going to use that day for the professional development to start our virtual world of learning. Things happened so fast after that. We moved forward with our PD opportunities, and we entered the virtual world, which means that we had to start with one, communicating with our students, with the parents, and with our staff, letting them know how we were going to address an unprecedented situation by calming their nerves and getting them with an understanding that we were going to be in good shape. Throughout this closure, we were able to provide all of our students with a meal starting from that following Monday after the closure. And we were doing that, and we'll continue to do that throughout the summer. Our technology staff was able to work with our building principals, and we distributed 1,800 laptops to students that did not have one during the closure. One of the things that was very tough for us to navigate was to determine which one of our students had access to the internet. So because we could not truly get a grasp and make sure that all 7,800 had internet access, we also mailed out paper packets to every student in Manassas City Public Schools. That way they would have something. As far as our teachers were concerned, they had to provide at least one video lesson per week that went along with assignments that could only increase a student's grade. We were not going to have any harm done to any of our students, as they were not in control of the circumstances that we had to go through. One group that was very special to my heart, as well as my cabinet, was our seniors. And that group has been through so much during their career. I think they've had 3 or 4 principals since they've entered Osborne. So that was an obstacle for them. And then, then this pandemic happened. So what we did for them was we had a senior drive-through on May 27th. May 27th was a very special day for them. That was the date that they would have graduated at Eagle Bank. So we had a drive-through for them where we lined both sides of the bus loop with teachers, school board members. We had our local city officials there. There were some parents, and they were able to drive through the loop and be celebrated for their accomplishment of completing their high school educational journey. Later that night, we also turned on the lights on the football field. We put the 2020 on the scoreboard and allowed them to come out, of course, with proper social distancing, an opportunity to talk and catch up with their friends, and then just to be on the field one more time. On July 18th, we will start our graduation ceremony for our seniors. Of course, we won't have one on the 19th because it's a Sunday, and then we'll finish off the graduation the 20th through the 25th. We will also have a virtual graduation keepsake for our seniors so they can have that memory. We would try to make it as special as possible, as we know that they will never be able to get back the graduation that every senior class before them was given that opportunity. Going forward, we do have a task force that's working on how we're going to safely open in the fall. Right, it may not be over yet, but the governor is having a press conference right now on reopening of schools. We'll receive some documents from the Department of Education, but when it comes to opening the schools, we'll make sure that we're doing it in a safe manner, but in a way that all of our kids will be successful. So I'll close with that and just, again, say thank you for the opportunity to speak today, and I can't wait to hear from my friends, Dr. Waltz and Dr. McDade.
Thank you so much, Dr. Newman. Just so we're clear, I would much rather be the community engagement officer for Apple Federal Credit Union than a superintendent of any school system. Next, we have Dr. Bruce McDade, Superintendent, City of Manassas Park Public Schools. Dr. McDade was appointed Superintendent of Manassas Park City Schools in 2010. Prior to his appointment, Dr. McDade served the district as the Associate Superintendent for Curriculum, Instruction, and Technology from 2006 to 2010, and as Principal of Manassas Park High School from 2001 to 2006. He also served as Superintendent of the Governor's School at Innovation Park, George Mason University, for the 2011, 2012, and 2014, 2015 school years. He was awarded the Curry School of Education Outstanding Doctoral Student of the Year Award in 1995. Welcome, Dr. McDade.
Can't hear you, Dr. McDade. Can you have your...
No, I would do that.
There you go. You're good now.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Knight. I appreciate that. Those of you who know me, and many of you do, know that when I start talking about Manassas Park City Schools, I tend to get a little excited and a little verbose, and I tend to basically talk too much. So I want to assure you, I've got the timer, and I'm going to make certain that I do not go over 10 minutes. So I'm watching very, very carefully. What an opportunity to be a part of this great event, to be with colleagues in the city and county, to be among strong supporters of our school division for many, many years. It's always a pleasure to be a part of this event. And a special note to Cameron, Abigail, Lynnea, and Emma. Wow, what a great job you've done in the short time that you've been on this earth. And we're looking for many, many more great years of contributions to our society, particularly at this time when we need folks like you to step up and really face the challenges that we're going through right now. So congratulations to all of you. So the Manassas Park story, well, it's been very, very interesting, similar to what Dr. Newman has shared with you. Let me start a little bit and talk perhaps more on a personal note. The story actually, for me, begins about 3 weeks before the shutdown on the infamous Friday the 13th. I want to take you back to the end of February, actually, on the 24th, and I'm sitting here at my desk, and I've got the correspondence in front of me. The correspondence that I am referring to was dated February the 24th. It was a note to the school board. Actually, it was an official letter to the school board indicating that I would be retiring at the end of this school year. So at the end of February, my head was very much looking forward to having a great closeout to my last school year in public school education, which numbers well over 40 now, but it would mark the end of 19 glorious years of Manassas Park as high school principal, associate superintendent, and superintendent. So I was very much looking forward to having a wonderful closeout, a wonderful send-off, and then head off to the golf course. Well, 3 weeks later, as Dr. Newman said, our world was changed. It was rocked when we had the news that we would be closing for 2 weeks, soon to be 3 weeks, soon to be 3 months. Interestingly, I had an email that I was just going through the other day from a student who asked me during that time, Dr. McDade, he said, I think it might be a good idea if you would close schools for 1 day to give the buildings a really good cleaning. This was sort of around the 1st of March. And it caused me to smile. Just imagine that was the mindset back in early March, that we would have to close school for a day to clean the buildings, to give them a good cleaning. Who knew at that time that it would turn into the remaining 13 weeks of the school year. So retirement then was put on hold when our school board, in the midst of their search, realized that they couldn't conduct a proper search, and they asked if I would stay on another year. I gladly accepted, enthusiastically accepted, and I was up for the challenge. I wanted to be certain that our school division was well positioned to close out the year and that we would be in a good position to reopen in the fall. I'm glad I did. It's been incredibly challenging. My world continues to be upside down. I'm sitting here in front of you with a suit on, but I'm wearing shorts. how many superintendents can say that they've done that in their career? And it's clear from the photo that you posted of me and looking at me now, and as I can see myself, I need a haircut. So there are things that that just that need to get to be taken care of, and it just doesn't get done. This afternoon, I was signing diplomas for our graduating seniors. Our graduation day was supposed to have been last Saturday on the 6th, so there's no graduation. Our plan is then on July the 25th to have a graduation. We're not quite sure what that's going to look like. We hope that it will be a model where we can actually bring students into our stadium, but right now that's still TBD. Not quite sure exactly what the final plan will be, but I think that just gives you an indication of just how different things have been this spring. Signing diplomas in the middle of June, thinking about the seniors as you sign those diplomas, thinking about all of the things that they've missed. They've missed their prom, they've missed senior picnics, senior nights, all sorts of senior events. But nonetheless, we're going to try to do something very, very special for them. Clearly, our focus is now turned on to what schools might look like in the fall. And as Dr. Newman said, the governor is speaking now, laying out the plan for what the fall might look like. And we'll be listening to his guidance very carefully and making decisions based on what he shares. So we're focused on August. Summer school is pretty much squared away. We are going to continue in Manassas Park with a virtual summer school similar to what we have done since March the 16th. But the fall, we're not quite sure what it's going to look like. I know that's one of the questions coming up, and we'll certainly share some of our thoughts, what potentially might happen in the fall. We were fortunate in Manassas Park when we began the closure on Monday the 16th. We actually were in a pretty good place in terms of our technology. We're proud to say that we are one-to-one K through 12. Every student in Manassas Park City Schools has his or her own device. So that was wonderful. Those devices actually were taken home with the students at the secondary level, but not at the elementary level. But we have since managed to get the Chromebooks in the hands of our elementary students as well. That has been a huge bonus for us. So students right from day one, which is March the 16th, they were able to access curriculum online. We had a handful of students that we identified that did not have access to internet capability, and we were able to help those students through hotspots and other means. But we've been very, very fortunate that we were able to begin a continuity of learning on the very, very first day. So our kids have been working hard, our teachers have been working hard, and we're very pleased with what we've been able to do. As I said, it's just been a surreal experience, going back from retirement to no retirement to signing diplomas in the middle of June. As I mentioned, so many things are vastly, vastly different. But nonetheless, we've made it to the end. We feel like we've done a good job. Our community has been very supportive and very complimentary of our efforts. And I'm very pleased that we've met their expectations. But the real work begins now. It actually will begin later on today when we find out exactly what our options are for next year, and we'll jump right into that. So again, I want to thank everybody for this invitation. It's just so great to be a part of this event. I wish it were our Bristow Manor. That's always fun to go out there to be among colleagues and friends. But nonetheless, this is a great substitute to see so many people and to be in the same room as 4 outstanding recipients of this year's scholarship. So congratulations to you all, and thanks again for the invitation.
Thank you so much, Dr. McDade. And yeah, I know a lot of people who could use a haircut, and that may be one of our biggest challenges as we come out of this. Last but not least, I would like to introduce Dr. Stephen Waltz, Superintendent of Prince William County Public Schools. Dr. Stephen Waltz became Superintendent of Prince William County Schools in 2005. One of the country's largest and fastest growing school systems, PWCS serves over 90,000 students in 100 schools and centers and employs more than 11,500 people, making it the largest employer in Prince William County and the second largest school division in Virginia. During Dr. Weltz's tenure, 24 schools have opened on time and within budget. His trademark includes at least one visit to every school every year. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Stephen Waltz.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Katie, thank you so much for that introduction, and congratulations to our award winners, our scholarship winners. And I'm happy to say I actually have at least some connection to all three of the Prince William County students. One I know much better than the other two, but I found out that my high school daughter, who's going to be a senior next year, actually dances with Lynnea. So that was kind of a fun thing. And so she told me to be sure and tell you congratulations, since you're in the same dance program over at Colgan. I want to thank everybody who's helped make this possible, and to be able to give these scholarships year after year to such deserving students, and such a great job of talking about their accomplishments. And we wish each of the four of them much success in the future, and I know it will be bright, and we can count on them to do great things. In the Prince William County area, having three school systems is somewhat unique, with two of them kind of embedded within the middle of the county. But my two colleagues, Kevin and Bruce, did an outstanding job of preceding my comments and talking about what each of us have been going through for the last several months. We each have experienced the same kinds of things. So again, they did a great job of explaining what those are. I guess for me, the challenge has been just the massive scale. So to give you a little bit of an idea about that, we have approximately 16,000 school systems in the United States, and Prince William County is the 35th largest in the entire nation. So we've got, as was said in my introduction, about 100 schools. And by the way, we're in the midst of building two very big new schools. We have a high school out west, and we have a middle school that's over on the southeastern end of Prince William. So Prince William is growing, and the scale of things makes the challenges really quite overwhelming in a situation like this. I do have to say that I think people have done an amazing job. Our students have done an amazing job. Similar to what happened in Manassas and Manassas Park, we worked with our students to make sure that they could improve their grades. We tried to be extremely sensitive to the fact that a lot of households are different. Many of these students, in particular the older students, had responsibilities of childcare with their younger siblings. Some of them were forced to, or had to continue to work, or were forced into the workplace to help make ends meet. As you know, our unemployment rate has skyrocketed, and there's no organization that knows that better than the Chamber of Commerce. And again, I just want to thank the Chamber for everything that you've done. And in spite of these difficult times, I want to applaud Debbie and Katie and all your whole team for doing this today and for making it possible through a Zoom conference. That's been great. But at any rate, getting back to the realities moving forward, I thought I would take just a little bit of time and talk about those. Simultaneous to this presentation, the governor is in the middle of his press conference, and he's talking about how we're going to be moving forward. And so there is a document that's going to, my understanding is it's going to be released literally within minutes, called Recover, Redesign, and Restart. And it's essentially the blueprint from the governor and the Virginia Department of Education that will spell out the various phases that we will be going through and what the requirements will be of those phases. So again, not to go back to the past, because again, I think Bruce and Kevin did an amazing job of talking about what that was like, but I thought since I was on a confidential call this morning with all of the superintendents in the state, we did get a precursor to what is being announced at this press conference. So almost every other school district in the state is already in phase one. There's essentially 4 phases that are going to be laid out moving forward. As you know, we are still in phase one, although the rest of the state, with the exception of the Northern Virginia and then the Richmond area, we are still in phase one because of the uptick of COVID-19 and the fact that we still have a rise in cases. So with each one of those phases, there's changes that will be laid out in this document, and they will also present some very big challenges. So for example, we're all going to be faced, regardless of the size of the system, with requirements for social distancing. And the social distancing will include bus rides as well as classrooms. And so I don't believe school will look quite the same when it does begin. We're not sure. And again, we'll have to have a little more time pass to see what phase we're in and how this virus has evolved before we know exactly how we will be affected and what we will be able to do to open up school. But one thing that's going to be required is even on the buses, the CDC guidance and the Virginia Health Department in concert with the governor's office and VDOE is requiring this 6-foot distance. So you may only be able to put 10 or 12 students in a 60-passenger bus. And then of course you have the issue of the classrooms, and social distancing will be required there in the classrooms as well. So when you start thinking about 25, 30 or more students in classes and large classrooms, band, choir, orchestra, those kinds of things, we will have to be very creative about the way in which we move forward. So there's going to be a lot of options being considered. As you know, we've been in the total virtual, and again, that's a big challenge. There are equity issues with families that don't have computers, so we are certainly doing exactly what my colleagues spelled out and trying to continue to get the technology in every person's home. First and foremost, we want to make sure that students are safe, but we also recognize the fact that we need to get back to in-person instruction just as soon as we can, at least part-time. So there are a lot of options being considered. And again, in Prince William, we're going to be doing a virtual summer school. So we're going to be trying to assist students that need additional support and help in the summer, including special education students and our second language learners and students who may need extra help. We are going to provide that virtually in the summer. There's also a wide range of courses through Virtual Virginia, our dual enrollment, our own summer school virtual program. And as a region, we'll be looking and exploring those opportunities as well to help our students to be successful. So again, I'm very proud of what our students, our families did marshaling through this extraordinarily challenging time. And I want to in particular thank our teaching staff and all of our support staff and our administration, because each and every one of those individuals have their own issues. Many of our teachers have children of their own and childcare issues of their own. So the fact that we were able to do as well as we did, I think, is a testament to their fantastic leadership. And then, of course, there's no end to the great things that our students have done. And certainly you heard about 4 of them and their amazing accomplishments today. So again, thank you to all of the sponsors. Thank you to the Chamber, and a special shout out to my 2 colleagues. We have a great relationship, and we share lots of ideas and we'll continue to do so moving forward. So thank you so much for including me today, and congratulations to our scholarship winners.
Thank you so much, Dr. Welts. It's clear that this area is very lucky to have all three of you gentlemen as leaders. You're doing an amazing job, and I cannot imagine the hill that is there to climb as we look forward to the next school year. Speaking of, we have gathered a few questions, and it looks like we have a little bit of time here. So I will read the question out loud, and then if we could go round robin in the same order that you guys spoke. So Dr. Newman first, then Dr. McDade, then Dr. Waltz in response. As you can, please keep your responses brief so that hopefully we can get through the questions. I will cut us off as we approach 3:30 if we need to be cut off. So question number 1. We recognize community-wide the accolades of our sports team accomplishments, but how can companies collaborate with all 3 of our superintendents on a program that introduces a top student all-star academic team recognition program? In other words, how do you make smart kids cool on the same level as our sports teams? Dr. Newman.
Well, when I read this question, I laughed as a former athlete because the complaints that I've received during my 2-year tenure here is that our athletes are upset that we don't acknowledge them as much as we do our academic awards during our school board meetings. So if I was a business, I would just talk to me about trying to get onto our spotlight portion of our school board meetings. And that's where we spotlight our kids. We get it on camera. I think our communications department does a great job of promoting it on our social media and website to get things out to show that our kids are doing great things. And then as a former athlete, I always wanted to be called a student athlete. And so when we're honoring our athletes, we make sure that we focus on that student portion first.
When I read the question, I immediately thought of a ceremony that we hold in the fall of the year. Many high schools begin the year with a sports pep rally. We do something a little different at Manassas Park High School. We have a ceremony that highlights and celebrates academic excellence. It's called the Expectations of Excellence Ceremony, where we take a look back at the previous year and recognize students who did well on SOL tests, AP examinations, results that came in over the summer, as well as induct new members into our Beta and National Honor Society organizations. That's a school-wide assembly. So we carve out time to do that at the beginning of the year. I would love to partner with businesses that could come in and perhaps put their name to a special recognition that we do at the beginning of the year during that ceremony. It's called the Most Valuable Cougar, which is an award that we give at the beginning of the year to recognize that cougar, that senior that is at the top of his or her class, rather than wait to the end of the year as they're going out the door and say, oh, by the way, you're the most valuable cougar. We do it at the beginning of the year. What a great opportunity I believe there is to partner with one of you out there in perhaps sponsoring our most valuable cougar. Just an idea, love to explore it a little further.
All right, thank you. So let me just mention that I held off on thanking one person because I also read the questions in advance, and I wanted to save a moment to highlight Dawn Davis, who is on this meeting and is one of the sponsors of this. She heads up our Education Foundation, Spark, and she does an outstanding job with partnering with businesses. And we have a very, very energetic and very highly involved person in Dawn. And what I wanted to share with you is probably many businesses aren't even aware of the kinds of things that we do, that both of my colleagues have talked a little bit about what they do in their districts. And I would say the same. We have a lot of things going on. You may not be aware of them. So my suggestion would be to reach out to Dawn. She does a great job with developing these partnerships. And if you have a high school, or, you know, we have 12 high schools, and then we also have an alternative school with high school students in it, and all of them do recognition ceremonies in a variety of ways. And so I know they would love to have the involvement. And I will just give you one example. You know, we try to do a lot to basically showcase what we've done with robotics. In fact, I think that's how I first met Susanna. And that was the year I came. We had our first robotics program at Battlefield High School, and it started winning national awards in its first year. We now have a robotics program in every one of our 100 schools. So it can just tell you how businesses can partner to showcase amazing accomplishments of students. And we have lots of award-winning teams that are sponsored by business and partner with businesses. So please feel free to reach out to Dawn. I know she'd love to work with you.
Excellent, thank you all. The second question may be a little bit, I don't know, moot, since the governor is releasing new information today, and Dr. Waltz, you already spoke a little bit on this. But question 2 is, the Loudoun County Schools listed a 3-phase plan based on the progress in the health crisis and the governor's orders. Are there similar plans in place for our school systems? What are their thoughts regarding what K through 12 instruction would look like in the fall? For example, continued virtual instruction, return to a classroom, hybrid, etc.
I think all three of us are going to give a very similar answer on this, in that we've all planned for those 3 options that Loudoun County has put out. You know, we're not going to get to the 100% all in the fall. I don't think any of us are naive enough to think that's going to happen. It's going to be some hybrid model to start the year, with the understanding that you need to be prepared to go to a 100% virtual in case things spike and you have to go back to that. So you have to be prepared for that. And I think all of us can't wait to get to the phase where we can have 100% of our kids with us. I tell people all the time, the job became much more stressful when we included the virtual world than it was when we had our kids with us every day, because we were in control. We knew when they were going to get on the bus. We knew when they were going to eat lunch and when they were going to eat breakfast. And if they were going to have access to materials, we controlled that. So we lost some control when we went into the virtual world, but we have to prepare in case we have to go there.
Perhaps I can just add this point, that I'm pleased to be part of a consortium of all of the superintendents here in Northern Virginia. There are 9 of us who have been meeting weekly, and it's proven to be very, very beneficial. And interestingly, tomorrow afternoon, we have a 3-hour summit where the superintendents, along with 2 or 3 key personnel in central office, will be meeting to discuss what we heard today and what some possibilities might be for August, what August might look like. And the encouraging part of all of this is that we are all committed to trying to come up with a regional approach. And I think that's hugely beneficial if we can get on the same page. And I have every confidence that while not every last detail will be the same, I think conceptually we're all going to be in a very good place after tomorrow's meeting. So I'm very pleased with the regional collaboration that has been occurring here in Northern Virginia among the superintendents.
So the only thing that I would add to that, and I'm in full agreement with essentially what they said, is just a reminder. And that is, if you think back around the events that my colleagues outlined that they went through around March 13th, you can make a plan and that plan can change on a dime. So while Loudoun has come out with a plan in some phases, I think for most of us, we wanted to wait and see how this, this new recovery redesign and restart, how that is rolled out, because there were school systems that said on March 13th, everybody's coming back on Monday. And then on Monday, nobody came back. They changed their mind because those things change so quickly. So I think some of us are a little more measured in terms of putting those plans out there. And again, it's going to take some time, and this summit will be helpful tomorrow before we're ready to lay out our thinking.
Yeah, I hear the plan is we'll have a plan when we have a plan, and if we need to change, we're going to have to change. So that's, again, kudos to you guys for all of your perseverance and calm and measured approaching. The next question is, for students who have quote unquote lost the fourth quarter of their last grade year, how do administrators plan to have this instruction covered in the new school year while also covering the material that would have been taught during the course of a traditional 9-month in-class learning model?
Once we nailed down our virtual ending of the school year, we turned our focus to how we were going to address that very question. And what we've come up with is what we're going to call the 0 week in our blueprint, where they're going to go through a lot of the material that would have been covered in the fourth 9 weeks before getting into the new material for the year. So that would be Manassas City's way of handling that.
What's interesting, and I think the group would appreciate this, is that all school divisions are required to submit a plan 3 weeks prior to the start of school, a recovery plan that addresses this very question. We have to be very explicit and share with the Department of Education how we are going to address the missed standards and content. So we have to address it. They put it right out there on the table. So in addition to the health plan, which we also have to come up with, we have to have this plan that will have as one of its components how school divisions will address the missed content and standards not taught. So I just want to reassure everybody that this is a priority for all school divisions throughout the Commonwealth.
So I think they've done a great job of answering the question. I have nothing further to add on that one.
That's the value of being last in line.
Yes, it is.
All right, our final question, looks like we're going to make it through all of them. There's some mirroring for this question to the one before. After March 13th, teachers were only permitted to provide review work for material already learned and were not permitted to provide any new material. Why is that? The vast majority of these students, especially in math disciplines, will need to move forward to the next step in spite of these gaps in their knowledge. How will students make up for the lost material?
Well, one, I'll just start off with the why for us, and it's a very simple answer for me. My colleagues may agree with this, and it was equity. I didn't feel comfortable starting new material when I didn't know if all of our students would be able to access that material. So it was an equity issue, was why we went with strictly review. And as I said before, we're going to start off the year with a 0 week unit to help those students with the information that they did not receive.
Ditto on the first part of the answer. I want to mirror exactly what Dr. Newman has said. Clearly, it is and was an issue of equity. We're going to be relying on the expertise of our educators to take a look at the standards that were missed, not covered, and think about ways that they can incorporate those in the future. In addition to that, I think we can do some really interesting collaboration within our 4 walls. I think particularly of the high school, I foresee it an opportunity here when a junior who missed the 4th quarter in, let's say, US VA is now in government. I think there's a real opportunity there for some collaboration between the USVA teacher to meet with the government teacher, to look at ways that they can combine some of the materials. I think there's some real teaching opportunities there. And I look forward to relying on the expertise of teachers to help us and help the students make up for some of the work that was missed during the shutdown.
So there were a number of legal issues that had to do with the equity issue that both of my colleagues have discussed. And now in this phase one, we can do new instruction. And again, the summer school program that we're offering, we're also asking teachers to help us to identify students that do need additional assistance. And then I agree very much with Bruce. We have tremendous confidence in our teachers, and they certainly understand that there are going to be some gaps. Now, just so you know, at the very end of the year, there's a lot of things having to do with the end of the year wrap up, lots of testing. There are days and days of testing. Those requirements were waived. So some people may think, well, you know, you lost all of that time with instruction. Well, at least part of that time toward the end of the year, there was not new instruction that would be going on anyway. It would be a lot of test preparation and the year-end testing itself. So since that was waived at both the state and the federal level, there are still some gaps, but it's not the entire time. So I think that's important as well. One other final thing I would just like to say, since we are honoring the George Floyd today around the world, I just want to say that we're also all grappling with the importance of having an environment that all of our students feel safe and all of our students feel cared for and loved, and flourish in an environment of where anti-racism is promoted. So this is another opportunity. I've been around long enough. I can't speak for Kevin, but I might be able to speak for Bruce. We went through a lot of those things in the 70s, and there were some good things that came out of it. I have confidence that good things will come out of these issues as well, but just did want to take a moment to honor George Floyd, his family, and all of those who have been affected in any negative way. And we are optimistic moving forward, and we will be all making some changes to make school a great place for all children to thrive.
Thank you very much. So that is all for our questions. I want to take the time to thank the three of you superintendents, and of course to congratulate the scholarship recipients. Once again, I'm Katie Knight from Apple, and I wanted to thank again our sponsors, of course the Prince William Chamber of Commerce for hosting, and thank you to our Education and Innovation Committee, your sponsor OmniRide, and all of our sponsors this year. That does end our program today. We've recorded today's program so that you can share it with family, friends, and members of the community, and we'll send a message when that is available.
Yeah, everybody. Congratulations to all of our award winners, and thank you for the superintendents. Bye-bye.